Hello, it is Kelsey Garcia, your friendly librarian, and I want to give you guys a very brief overview of what Halo AR is and how you can use it in your classrooms. So before we start with this specific program, I want to tell you a little bit about what augmented reality is. So if you were in a situation where you had a student with their iPads and they held it over their worksheet and they were able to scan their worksheet, and then when they did that, they could have a video pop up and then it could explain to them how to do that specific problem or could give them an example of a similar problem. Another thing we could do is if we could scan a poster at a museum and then they could see the actual historical figure start talking to them. And then these are the kind of things that we can do with augmented reality. So you've seen these, I assume, the Pokemon Go or the Snapchat filters. They're both augmented reality. So in the Pokemon Go, where you walk around and you hold your phone up and you see the actual scenery that is around you, but then you also see the little Squirtle pop up and you have to catch him. That's going to be an example of augmented reality, where you have the image in the background that you actually see in real life, and then up pops the additional little cartoon. Same with the Snapchat filters. You see, if you're taking a selfie, you see your face move just like you would in a normal camera, but then you have these silly little additions or makeup or whatever on top of it. So those are examples of augmented reality. Halo AR is what I'm teaching you about today. So it's short for Halo Augmented Reality, and it's a free app that we can download on our school iPads for the students. And so then the students can create things or the teachers can create things. And it's pretty straightforward. You don't need any coding or special skills or anything like that. So you'll be able to take a picture of something that you want the kids to be able to scan. And then when they scan it, something will pop up. It can be a video, it can be a drawing, it can be a 3D object, things like that. Or we can have the students create their own. And we'll get into that here in just a second. So different things that we could do in different subject areas. So if we're looking at science, things like the human body systems, to have the students explore the different organs. So if you have a poster in your classroom of the body systems and a student goes up with their iPad and scans it, you can have that linked to a video that talks about something specific that you want them to know, that you need them to know. Same thing with the solar system models or the chemical reactions. Anything that you have them scan, you can link it to something else that you want them to have for more in-depth knowledge. In ELA, and this goes hand in hand with the library, of course, we can have them make interactive book reports where the kids will scan the book and then they record themselves giving summaries. And then when other kids come in, they can scan the books and see what their classmates did. Poetry readings. And Miss Watts, I was thinking about you specifically with your slam poetry project that your 7th graders do. If the kids have their artwork up in the wall, up in the hallway, then other kids can come around and scan their artwork and then hear them, or even see them if they make a video, performing their slam poetry. So I was thinking about that a lot while I was making this presentation here. Social studies, for social studies, if we're looking at historical figures or maps, the kids can scan and see different things like that. Huge projects we want to do about time travel, they can create AR experiences from the perspective of somebody else who's living in a historical area. Math, can be sometimes kind of difficult for kids and for explaining. So if we're looking at some different ways to help them, things like the 3D shapes or the real world math problems, that question, when am I going to use this? So that's kind of fun. And then vocabulary, and that of course goes for any subject area. If the kids scan the words on your word wall, then formulas and definitions and examples can all pop up. And again, this is something that teachers can create or the students can create. Art, of course. Again, like we talked about with the poetry for language arts class, if we have art in the hallway and then other students come around and scan it, then you can listen to the students explaining their art, explaining their process, explaining their inspiration. Or I really liked this last example of the layered art projects. So if the kids scan the final project, then they can make a slideshow and show from beginning to end all the different process, the whole process for making their art. And then finally music. And I was thinking, Miss Keeling, that you would like this a lot for the instrument tutorials. How you have that little open night for the 6th grade students. It's like, try out an instrument. You could have them scan the instrument, and then it would come up with a little video and instructions and explaining how to play the different instruments. So I am running out of time here. I wanted to keep this short, but I have these 3 videos here. There's a linked to YouTube videos that kind of explain in better depth how to use Halo HR. But what I really want you guys to do is to come in next week for our Lunch and Learn. We will be talking specifically about Halo AR, and we can sit down together in any subject. As you can see, we can make this a unique and memorable lesson for your students. And you can come in and have them do it in the library with me, or if you are comfortable, you can do it in your classroom. I just want to get this technology into the hands of the kiddos. And here are the YouTube videos. Wanted to give them credit. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you next week.